intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and this video is honestly coming out a bit late, as in it is months since the Strike Team Battleship crew got released, and yet I just had to take this opportunity to show off the beautiful, the wonderful, the glorious Katinga. I mean, isn't this the prettiest? Like, look at that torpedo launcher. Like, oh my gosh, I love this ship. So, because of that, and battleships kind of being the primo ship of the game, at least right now, is current meta. Back in the day, it used to be Federation and Explorers. Not anymore. So what we're going to talk about today, at least that's how things are today, we're going to talk about the Battleship Strike Team, what makes them good and when to use them, but how they are also not infallible, so how to fight against them. Now, I've said several times, and I mean this, I do believe that they are the best strike team in the game, as in complete set, they're the best. Curious if the comment section believes the same thing. I believe that just toe-to-toe, they're better than the Interceptor Strike Team and the Explorer Strike Team, but that doesn't mean they're perfect. They do have flaws. There are ways to take advantage of them. And there's also certain ships that they are super good on versus just being great on. Like, they're great here, but like on an Augur or a Tribune, they are particularly obnoxious. Like, just really, really good. But we're going to talk about why by going over the officers and their abilities. Now, easy way to do that is actually put it on the screen. Here are the officers, their abilities, and how they actually scale up. But what we will do here is, as I'm transitioning in the background and you're looking at this, we're going to actually go officer by officer and explain the abilities and why they're important and why they are good. You see I've got them right down here in the background. So let me go ahead and rotate this off your screen, and we'll start with the leader, Strike Team La'an. Now, targeting optimization. While on a battleship and fighting a burning player at the start of each round, Strike Team La'an increases the number of shots by 140%. This is with full synergy. I've got full synergy here on the Katinga. Then the officer ability is shield backdoor. While on a battleship fighting a player, each time your ship hits with a weapon, Strike Team La'an has a 60% chance of causing burning for 3 rounds, 60% being based on the fact that I have got her at tier 1. If you look at the graphic that we have on the screen, you can see it scales up pretty significantly. I think that you have a very good chance of burning happening. I mean, you're going to get burning proc, especially as you level her up, if you can level her up. One of the reasons I waited to make this video is the hopes that sourcing would improve for these, and sadly it's not really been the case as of yet, but a pirate like me can only hope and wait. So we'll see. Let's move on to the next officer. Going to our left is going to be Strike Team Ortega. Now, Strike Team Ortega's thermal modulation officer ability is the main one we're looking at here. While on a battleship fighting a player, increases or causes weapon shots by them to have a 45% chance of having their next attack delayed by 1 round. Now, this is a modification of the Chang ability, and it's honestly not that great. The biggest thing about Ortegas is synergy. Yes, she helps out, and yes, you can track this in a battle log, but the big bonus here comes down to the synergization that they provide. Captain's ability, when shot by a player explorer, Strike Team Ortegas has a 5% chance of burning them for 3 rounds. That captain's ability, yes, synergizations, take a shot, helps out, but still, that's an awful captain's ability. Like, even with max synergy, it's 85%. And you would never, I mean, you'd really specifically have to be fighting explorers. And if you had Strike Team La'an, you would never run Strike Team Ortega. Thus, you would never have full synergy anyway. And then it would only be 45%. It's just a really weak captain's ability. I mean, it's quite weak indeed. Now let's move over to what is actually the highlight of this. So, Strike Team La'an, particularly useful. Scroll back real quick. Strike Team La'an, particularly useful on ships like the Augur and the Tribune, giving them not only burning, but also, for example, the Tribune, her shop creation stacks. So when you've got a big ship that already has a ship ability that is really, really big on giving you more shots, well, you're really going to like Strike Team La'an because, well, you're getting better. But here's the kicker. I think the most powerful officer of this set is actually the rare, and that is Strike Team Una. And basically, no matter where you put her, she's amazing, granted on a battleship. But in terms of whether you're on a Katinga or an Intrepid or a Bortis or a Kumari. This is an amazing officer as she tiers. Now, I focused really hard to get mine to tier 3, meaning that my Crush Their Hopes while on a battleship fighting a player decreases their shield mitigation by 30% each round. Hate that we use the word mitigation, but which means that very quickly, no more shields. Now, it doesn't work the same way that Yuki does. Yuki takes away the shields completely, which is why you'll see pictures, and we'll see one in a second, of a battle log where there'll be like this little black bar where the shield should be. That's Yuki removing shields entirely. She works like TOS Uhura. It's the shield bypass. It's that second layer of a battle log. So let's back out real quick and let's do some quick math because we love math. So we're going to go into any log, doesn't matter what we're going to. I'm actually going to hit a rogue bounty hunter. What I'm looking for is to hit the battle log and see this right here. See our Defiant taking damage from the battleship, vice versa. So we're going to go into this battle log here and we're going to take a look at the mitigation, and bypassing that, I hate the word mitigation when we talk about Uno or TOS Uhura's ability. What we're looking at here is this second layer. See the shield health damage done. But here we gotta do some quick math to explain how this works. So you see 30,625 is done by the shields. What you need to do is add 30,625 plus 7,656, which will bring you to what, 38,277. Yeah, I did that in my head. Now, what we'll do with that is we'll divide 7,656 by 38,277. Why do we do this? Because we want to determine how much does the shield actually stop of non-mitigated damage. We do that finding that the hull received 20%, which means that these shields stopped 80%. So what Una does for you here is Una removes that and lowers that. So it's naturally for any ship, if there's no ability affecting it, a ship will naturally stop 80% of any non-mitigated damage. So whatever the ship mitigates, whatever's left, the shields then stop 80%, unless you have an officer like Strike Team Una, which out the gate, bam, there went 30, now we're down to 50. Next round, 20. Next round, gone. You know, so now whatever's not being mitigated is going directly to the hull, essentially making your shields pointless. That is the power of Strike Team Una and why she is so freaking strong. Now, same time, again, I mentioned earlier, not infallible. What do I mean by not infallible? As in they can be beaten. For example, here is a D4 beating Strike Team Battleship on an auger. You would be like, wow, I thought it was super OP. How did they fight it? They fought it with punching really hard, really fast with a critical build, and then mitigation. So you know that Strike Team Una is the key here. How do we combat her? Getting our mitigation as close to max as possible, meaning even though she's negating our shields essentially, if we're not taking a lot of damage past mitigation, we're staying alive. Exactly what we're doing here. Now that's just one example. What is another example? How about we come over here and look at this one? Again, I told you about the Yuki thing. See how Yuki works? The shield's actually like completely leaving. That's how Yuki works. That's the difference between the two. But this one went with Yuki, bonuses versus Romulan ships, 2 of them, and then Sharvanik for piercing. So they didn't worry about their mitigation, but what they did is they super jacked up their damage versus Romulan ships, stripped the shields, and then mitigation meant on the one over here, the mitigation was super low. So they beat it before this crew could really dominate and take advantage. Let's look at a third version of this. Bam, another one, Yuki, Gorkon, and Honor Guard Worf. This time we're going with shield strip, but a critical with hull breach build, and y'all know I love these. Strike Team Battleship losing to a pylon. Now again, this does not mean that Strike Team Battleship is secretly not good. It is, but there are ways that you can try to find a small break in what feels like at times the strongest PvP crew in the game. And I do believe that in itself, like crew versus crew, this is the strongest. Like going against just going out in space and fighting, this is the best crew that is available in today's game. However, there are still other ways to fight it, and now hopefully through this video you understand exactly how it works. One more time, we'll put the officers up on the screen so you can see how they grow and progress. And if you have any questions about any of this, all you gotta do is one, it's really easy to do this. Hit me up on Discord right over there. Links in the description of my video. But also I encourage everybody to do this. Please, 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 please. Because I like answering comments. Comment, let me know what you think about the Strike Team Battleship. Together as a whole, they're amazing. The great thing is the best card is the rare card, which means you can run Strike Team Una by herself with other stuff. So get Strike Team Una. That's the message. That's the goal. That's the meta. Hope you enjoyed it. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. I'm going to let you in with this beautiful, beautiful shot of a Katinga behind me. Like, look at this knot. So I can't wait till it's a Vorchop, but my goodness, it is pretty. Hope y'all have an amazing.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.